Israel and the United States believe that the leader of Hamas is hiding in the tunnels of his hometown, Khan Yunis. An even more complicated challenge than exposing his hiding place is carrying out an operation to capture him without endangering the Israeli hostages believed to be held in close proximity to him. I'm Yair Pinto, and this is your Boots on the Ground report about what is happening in Israel on this 143rd day of Israel's war against Hamas. Israel has reason to believe that the leader of Hamas in Gaza, Sinwar, is still hiding in the tunnels under Khan Yunis in the south of the Gaza Strip, and American officials agree with this assessment. It is believed that Sinwar has surrounded himself with hostages, using them as human shields. The problem, according to a senior Israeli official, is how to do something without endangering the lives of these hostages. I have to make a comment here. Sinwar is currently behaving like a rat, hiding in a maze of tunnels underneath the civilian cities of the Gaza Strip. The question of Sinwar's hiding place has been a central mystery for many months. In recent days, some sources have raised the possibility that the man who planned the October 7th terrorist attack may have moved a few kilometers south to Rafah, near the border with Egypt. However, Israeli intelligence officials have publicly denied reports, or maybe it's more correct to say rumors, that he went through one of the smuggling tunnels that runs under the border into the Egyptian Sinai Peninsula. Be that as it may, the assessment shared by the US and Israeli officials is that Sinwar is hiding, as mentioned, in the extensive network of Hamas tunnels in the area of Khan Yunis, the city where he was born. Another key question regarding Sinwar is whether he continues to lead Hamas forces while hiding underground. The IDF has destroyed dozens of tunnels that Hamas built, and in the process cut many of the lines of communication that Sinwar would need to both receive reports and give orders to his subordinates. In addition to this, it's difficult to imagine that he could stay in touch with anyone when he's constantly on the move. The hunt for him is mainly conducted underground, and as previously mentioned, the focus is on the tunnels underneath Khan Yunis, the headquarters of Gaza. Israeli and American intelligence officials assess that the IDF closes in on him, systematically eliminates the places where he can flee and hide. It could lead directly to the release of hostages. This might not happen all at once, but the mere fact that Sinwar knows he is running out of options will put pressure on him to agree to the release of hostages in exchange for a ceasefire. However, before anyone gets their hopes up, it's important to remember that the tunnel network in Khan Yunis would put the subway in New York to shame. Although many of the tunnels have been found and destroyed, there are still many more. I personally agree with the assessment that Sinwar is in these Khan Yunis tunnels and that his inevitable end is near. I hope he will soon get what he deserves for all the terrible pain and suffering he's inflicted on both Israelis and Palestinians. I also hope that this will be remembered by Israelis, Palestinians, and everyone else who needs a lesson in what happens to monsters who commit such atrocities. I'm Yair Pinto, and I ask you to act. Continue spreading the truth with me. Share our videos and follow us on social media, and most importantly, continue to pray for the peace of Jerusalem. Back to Gaza, where we are approaching the day when it will be 5 full months of active fighting. As I mentioned before, the tunnel network the IDF has found and destroyed has been one of the biggest surprises of this war. We knew there were tunnels, but we did not know how many and how sophisticated they would turn out to be. Just yesterday, the IDF published maps showing an additional 10 kilometers of tunnels under the Turkish hospital bordering the center camps of the El Sarra University building. The tunnels were discovered by the battle team of the Nachal Brigade and in cooperation with the Yalam and engineering forces. The uncovering of these tunnels led to other discoveries, including a network of underground chambers in the north and south of the Gaza Strip. In tunnels running under the neighborhood of Tavim, rooms were located and included toilets, weapon storage rooms, combat equipment, and branching shaft system, and also the bodies of terrorists that remained in the tunnel. The importance of these tunnels to the Hamas terrorist organization was highlighted by the fierce efforts they made to defend them against the IDF forces. Face-to-face battles broke out, leading to the elimination of several terrorists. The fighting continued as the IDF troops pushed deeper into the tunnel routes connecting between the Central Brigade of Hamas and the Gaza City Brigade of the Palestinian terrorist organization. So imagine how difficult it is to fight inside such a system, a dense, dark tunnel. The oxygen is low, it's hard to breathe, and every shot sounds loud and echoes in your ears. This is the most difficult combat space that IDF forces encountered, but they have some advantages over the Hamas terrorists they're bravely facing. The IDF has learned a lot from the battles it has already fought in these tunnels. We have also developed robots that can enter before the troops do, utilizing sophisticated cameras and other scanners to locate and even eliminate terrorists without exposing the soldiers to any additional risk. This is one reason the IDF suffered relatively few casualties in these battles. But Gaza is not the only place we're fighting against Hamas and other terrorist organizations. In the city of Nablus, in Judea and Samaria, the IDF arrested 22 wanted persons associated with Hamas last night. In addition to making these arrests, the IDF forces confiscated terrorist funds worth over $100,000. In addition, incendiary materials meant to be used in terrorist attacks and other materials were confiscated from a printing house in Nablus. So far, since the beginning of the war, about 3,250 Islamic terrorists associated with Hamas have been arrested in Judea and Samaria. I call on all of you to continue and spreading the truth with us. This is a spiritual battle and a battle for the truth. So please share, follow us, and continue to pray for the IDF soldiers, their families, the people of Israel, the people of the Gaza Strip, who are also being taken hostage by Hamas, and in general, for God to reign in this region and to bring peace to Jerusalem.